The first Nintendo Switch was the third best-selling console of all time, with 152 million consoles sold. So they're taking the Switch 2 launch very seriously. It's basically their iPhone. 23 million views just on YouTube, 58 million views on Twitter. This is just their main account. So I think it's safe to say that this has like 100 plus million views across social media. The last thing I want to mention before I get into actually talking about the product video itself is I just think it's interesting to note that Nintendo, as a billion-dollar company, chose to release this product video with no audio, no voiceover. Why? I think because if we let the visuals speak for themselves, it can be accessible to all languages. And I think that's part of the reason why this has hundreds of millions of views across social media. Alright, so let's just get into it. The first thing that stands out to me is how Nintendo is basically able to get away with building up suspense right in the beginning. You'll see that they don't really give away the fact that this video is about the Switch 2 until the 16-second mark when the screen jumps out and gets really big. I think this is something that companies with a big brand can get away with, like Apple is another example, where people are super hyped for the iPhone, so they can afford to build some suspense in the beginning of the video. But I would say for the majority of brands, like 95%, if you are making a product video, you generally want to get into the meat of the video, like within the first 2 or 3 seconds. That part's so cool. I love the fold out there. One thing you'll notice about like super well done product videos is whenever there is momentum or fast motion, they always like carry it on into the next shot. So like right here, they kind of build up that kinetic energy and they release it and it goes super fast. And then so you see how at the end of this shot, the tablet is moving super fast. So they have the Joy-Cons match that energy and motion to it. I love the background colors changing here. I love this animation and how the camera angles are just having a lot of fun, like zooming in and showing all the different perspectives. This is probably a hint to the fact that the first Switch had infamously bad joysticks, but hopefully the new one has solved that issue. So this is probably a nod to that. We see something pretty unique here where they're showing off a mouse capability on the Switch 2, which probably opens the door to more games that were traditionally desktop games that needed a mouse, but now they can probably be ported to the Switch 2. Now in the beginning, they reminded us that the first Switch had Joy-Cons that slid out from the top, and this new Switch has a magnetic snapping to it. This video is split up between like the first section, which is talking about the product, and then the next section is really more about the Mario Kart game, so I won't talk too much about that, but I also like this little nod that the Joy-Cons are different and they no longer slide out, but they're magnetic, so that's cool. I would say the main theme of this video though is just how the Switch 2 is bigger and better in all aspects compared to the first version. So we see right in the beginning the screen pops out, we see how much bigger it is compared to the first one, and we see the new glossy material, we see all these cool buttons popping out, the big speaker grills here. We see even more buttons popping out, and we see a USB-C port on the top. We see The new kickstand drawing and popping out, I thought that was really cool. Obviously the sound effects are top notch too. It's just a super phenomenal, well done video and a great example of a brand using a 3D product video to launch their products. And by the way, if you are curious, the Switch 2 launch has been going super well so far. They've sold, looks like close to 4 million units so in the first 4 days actually, so I'm sure that number is much larger now. Looks like they were only expecting to sell 15 million consoles by the end of March next year, but it looks like they're going to sell way more than that if this trend keeps going upwards. I was just analyzing the Nintendo Switch video. I did not create it myself, but I am playing my own work on screen right now. If you're a brand who needs a 3D animation of your product, I will leave a link on the screen or in the description somewhere that you can click on and get in touch with me. Would love for you to get in touch, and let's talk soon.